marker. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? How we doing? How we feeling? How we looking? How we smelling? Smelling good, looking good, feeling good. Oh man, how we doing out there? Yo, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Everyday Shuffle. I am your humble host, the talented Brandon J, and you are watching this episode on the talented Brandon J YouTube channel, and I appreciate you. Oh man, how y'all doing out there? How you doing? How you feeling? Hope everybody's doing all right, or hope everybody had a nice week. Depending on when I drop this video, depending on what day it is, if it's the beginning of the week, I hope you had a great weekend. You know what I mean? If you get into this at the end of the week, man, I hope your week went good. Got everything done that you needed to get done. I'm trying to get consistent on when I drop these videos, man. It's hard to do. It's hard to do when you're doing it by yourself. You dig what I'm saying? But nonetheless, we getting them done. Yo, what's up? How we feeling? How do I want to start this? What we want to get into? Not a lot has happened this week. Event wise, not a lot is going on. I do have some things that I want to get to, that I want to talk about. Not sure where I want to start. Actually, I'm like, not a lot of things has happened, so you know what I mean. But I'm bringing you this broadcast nonetheless. Not a super eventful week. First full week of school at Pomona College. The semesters and the quarters are already flying by, man. I think I'm already about to hit week 4 in a 10-week quarter system with UCR. This thing is flying by. Before you know it, we're going to be on spring break and doing our thing and rocking right on into spring quarter. This thing is flying, man. It's flying. And I am not mad at it. So, yeah. Where do I want to start? You know me, I got to bring my notes out to see where I want to start. Not a lot of new music. Not a lot of new music this week. What I've been listening to this week. Let's see. Not a lot of new music. I'm still waiting to listen to that ASAP Rocky. I think I'm gonna give that a listen to this weekend. Watch the dope interview with ASAP Rocky on the Joe Budden podcast. Really, really dope interview. Here's the thing that I like about when I watch certain interviews, man. Because there's a lot of artists. There's artists that's been out for a while. Like, they're literally veterans in the game right now. But I just, aside from like their mainstream stuff, have never really give them a solid like album listen. And again, as I said many times before, where hip hop is right now, there's so many artists, so much music, man. You got like 3 to 4 different generations listening to hip hop right now. 3 to 4 different generations of artists in hip hop, like actively, successfully making music, right? So hip hop is in a space where you can just listen to your lane. You know what I mean? You have a lane that you're just in love with, even if you dabble and listen to a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know what I mean? Hip hop is in a place where you have your own lane and set of artists that you love to listen to, whether it be the old school hip hop, whether it be artists from the late 90s, early 2000s, trap music, your conscious rap, your Kendricks, your J. Cole's, your Drake's, your popular rap artists, drill rap. Like, it's so many hip hop music, so much hip hop music right now, and just so many lanes. Like, you can just listen to what you like and lean into what you like. So I say that to say, like, you know, there's artists that's been out for a while that, because my ear leans to what I lean to, I never really got a chance to listen to a lot of other artists' music. Like, I just listened to the Wiz Khalifa new album. I tell you the truth, that's the first time I listened to a Wiz Khalifa album. And Wiz Khalifa been out for at least a decade or more. You know what I mean? So that's just, but I know who Wiz Khalifa is, obviously. You know what I mean? I've heard, like, again, the mainstream music, you know what I mean? The albums that, the radio cuts, and you know what I mean? The more popular songs, of course, you know who they are, but it doesn't lean me into listening to their album, right? So that's what I'm trying to do more of now, is lean into listening to more people's album. Actually, I've started doing that ever since the pandemic, because obviously I had more time to do so. So I was like, yo, let me lean into some of these artists a little bit more. So I say that to say that I have not checked out, I don't think I've ever listened to a full ASAP Rocky album. I might have listened to one, actually. But for the most part, yeah. So I'm gonna check this album out. And what's really making me want to check this album out even more now, because I was already going to give it a listen when I saw that it dropped, is that he did a really good, a really dope interview on the Joe Budden podcast. And I mean, it was I love interviews like that, where I just start to really get to know, like, the individual, the human being, the person outside of the artist. Like, you get to understand who that person is, their personality, you know, things that they're into, and hear their story a little bit more. And I love that. And I think, and I'm gonna post that interview to my students' Canvas, so that they can check it out as well. So a lot of times when I come across really dope interviews like that, I'll throw it on and share it with my students as well. So, yeah. So I'm gonna check out that ASAP Rocky this weekend and give that a listen to. And once I do that, I'll come back and let you guys know how that, you know, how it was. I've already, just him alone said, here's what he said about his album. One, he's in a place, he stated in the interview that he's in a place where I don't really need to make music to make money, which is a beautiful place to be, in his words. You know what I mean? He said it's a blessing to be that way, to be like that, because now I don't have to worry about meeting the needs of the record label, you know what I mean, and making music that the record label has to approve. I am an artist, and I can just be an artist. And a lot of times when artists do that, is the music that I like the most, even when mainstream is looking at it weird, because I'm an artist, right? And when I get to in my artistry bag myself, I'm like that. I'm very abstract, you know, I can be very abstract at times. So I honor that. I love that when artists do that. So yeah. And he said about his own album that he's like, I want people to love it or hate it. He's like, that's how much in my artsy bag that I'm in. He's like, middle of the road, any mids, don't have any mid feelings about it. Nah, you either love it or you hate it. Like, that's just gonna be the gist of it. So, and I was like, tell me more. Like, I gotta listen now. So I'm gonna give that a listen to this weekend. So yeah. Other than that, no other new music has came out. Jane, I just listened to a song that Jane Hancock just dropped. Love it. Really dope song. Get that a check. I believe it's called Sand and Water. With Jane Hancock. And that one's pretty dope. I'm gonna be dropping a DJ set. I just put together a DJ set earlier this morning actually. That I put that song in there, so I'll be dropping that soon. And also about my DJ sets, man, I've done like several DJ sets. Y'all probably heard me talk about it many times on here, but on the channel it only has one DJ set that's visible. So I've tried to download my DJ sets, but it is not working out on YouTube due to just like copyright issues and laws, whatever have you. It's getting, the video is getting blocked, and so that other people can't watch it. My channel isn't getting like red flagged or anything like that, but you have to go through, and I've been looking online to figure out like why my videos getting my DJ sets getting blocked, and I see other people doing DJ sets, and it's this whole thing that you got to do. Like you can go in and dispute it. A lot of times it's an individual song or a couple songs that has a copyright issue with it, and it'd be like banned in certain countries. So when that happens, you can just go and dispute those particular songs, and then do this whole thing, go through this whole process with YouTube to dispute it and see what happens from there. Or you can just re-edit it and like mute those songs out, or redo your set so that, and take those songs out and replace them with something else. That's just so much work. So I'll just be going live with my DJ sets. So stay tuned for that, for when I go live. So from now on, I'm not going to pre-record my DJ sets anymore, man. I'm just going to go live and just do it like that. So yeah. What else? Yeah, that's music. Oh, I just gave this artist a listen to, Olivia Dean. Check that out, Olivia Dean. Real how can I say? I would say like a more of an indie pop sound, but easy listen to, man. I really like it. It's the name of the album is The Art of Loving, and I dug it. I listened to it. I was got to class early to warm up by myself. Put it on while I was warming up by myself, and I like it. I dig it. I would love to put it in, go on a nice little drive. And pop it in. Sometimes I like to do that with my new music as well. Sometimes I listen to it in the headphones, depending on what it is. Some music I like to pop it into the car, listen to it in the stereo, whether I'm driving or just sitting in the car late night. You know what I mean? A lot of times I just sit in my truck when I want to listen to some new music, especially on a nice, beautiful night. You know what I mean? The moon is out. Just sit into my truck, roll all the windows down, and let it play throughout in the truck speakers. I might puff on a cigar while I do that, and or either go for a drive. So I would love to listen to Olivia Dean in the car on a nice little drive and see how that goes. But yeah, that I dug it though. I love it. So check out Olivia Dean. Let me know what you guys think. And also, man, all the suggestions that I make on this channel, as far as music goes, you know what I mean, let's listen to them together, man. I'm down for that. So if I make a suggestion of an album that you have not listened to, please tell me what you think. Hit me up in the comments, man. Listen to the album. Tell me your thoughts, if you liked it or you didn't like it. What track stood out to you. I want to create more engagement with my subscribers on here. So please let me know what you think. So this particular album is Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. And like I said, I dug it. And the next one we're going to listen to, I'll be listening to it this weekend. So right now it is Wednesday. So this weekend I'll be listening, giving A$AP Rocky a listen to. And I will also, like I said, for my students, I'll be dropping that interview that he did on the Joe Budden podcast. But yo, go to the Joe Budden podcast. Check out the ASAP Rocky interview. Really, really, really dope interview. Really dope interview. What else we got? What else we got? I would like to do, before I do that, well, yes, I would like to do a segment. I want to add a new segment called This Week in Class, and just talk about what happened, what things stood out this week in the classroom while I was teaching. And a few things, not a few things, but one thing stood out, and I may have even talked about this before on another channel, man. Matter of fact, I know I have talked about it before. So I'm trying this new thing. In the classroom with my warm-ups, right? And my warm-ups, there's two reasons why I want to start changing up my warm-up. There may be several reasons. One is that, like I said before, I may have said this before. Actually, I have said this before. I'm dealing with an injury right now in my foot. So my warm-up really irritates this injury that I have in my foot until it heals up. I have to adjust how I warm up. So I'm now doing more of a free grooving. Usually my warm up is usually like lead and follow. I'm in the front of the class. I lead the warm up. Everyone else just follows what I do in real time, in unison. And then we'll just go into some static stretches and calisthenics and exercises. So the static stretches really really irritates my foot, and some of that lead and follow warm up. So now it's just, I just want people to move around. So I'll play the song and just have everybody just move around, right? But before I get into the detail of that warm up, another reason why I've changed my warm up was, and when it really started, maybe like a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, is that I just got caught in routine, got stuck in routine, and became like frustrated with doing the same routine over and over again. So it was giving me anxiety. So I was just like, I just needed change, right? So I just decided, you know what? Just move around. Let's just groove. Let's just move our bodies freely for this warm up. I don't want to do a whole lead and follow. That was part of it. That was what initiated it, was just that I was just tired of routine and just wanted to switch it up. But what that did was it helped me discover what was really needed in the classroom. Because then now what I do is call out and say, hey, all right, I'll play a song and say, all right, just groove to this song. I just want you to find a groove. You know what I mean? Just vibe out. You know what I mean? And once I did that, then I found the struggle. I was able to see the struggle, right? So my students weren't able to, I noticed that just students weren't able to groove and vibe anymore. Or just vibe to music, play a song and then they vibe, because we're just, now dance has gone to a place like where it's all choreo. Do what I do, do what I do, do what I do. Not, no one in hip hop, more specifically, we're not encouraging the groove. And I even see people in like online and like classes that people post online, even when they're doing movement that's a groovy style of movement, everyone is doing the same thing. There's no individuality happening in the groove, right? So that's the thing that kicked it off and that I noticed the most. And so since then, I've been noticing that it's still an issue. Hence why I'm even talking about it again right now, because it is a thing. Young dancers that are taking dance in the institution, because I cannot speak for all dancers. Like I don't teach at all studios or even in all demographics currently. But from what I've seen over the past couple years, students in the institution, on the university level, college level, are struggling with freestyling. But not even freestyling not even like hardcore freestyling. I mean, just grooving. Just that old, like what dance just used to be. What dance originally was. Just a crowd of people just moving in unison, but as individuals. You know what I mean? And that's, I mean, it's a hard thing for young dancers to do right now. So that's the thing I'm working on the most. So this week in class, that is still the struggle, the thing that we're going to continue to work on. So then when I noticed that, so one, well, I won't even say this part because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm calling them out. But let's just say class didn't start right on time. Now, once we did get started, and then I started calling out, all right, just move around. Even when I just say move around, and I'll be even a little bit more specific in the instruction. I want you to move around with energy, whether it be a run, jog, jump, skip, whatever it is, however you choose to move. I need it to be energetic. Just move around the space. Now, I have a pretty big dance space at UCR. So they have a lot of room to move freely. Here's one thing that I always see. Everybody stays tight and close together. So even in a classroom of like, I have 35 to 40 students in this particular class. So even in a classroom like that, and I've taught, I think the highest amount of people I've had in that class was 51 students. So even with 30, I had 35 to 40 students in there. Everybody was in just like a one tight little space. But I'm sorry, this is a correction. My beginning class is 35 to 40 students. My advanced class is around 20 students. So this class that I'm talking about currently this week was around 20 students in the classroom. So even 20 students tend to stay in a very tight huddle, right? With the whole bunch of space in the front of the classroom, of just empty space, just free real estate of space in the front of the classroom that nobody will take advantage of. Everybody stays really tight. I call it security blanket dancing. Just everybody loves to be snuggled together for some reason. That was number one. Then with the whole, all right, everybody can move freely, move around, but energetically, no one picked up on those words, right? And this isn't just this class that this has happened in. This has happened in many of my classes. This has been very consistent from quarter to quarter or semester to semester. Then so no one moves with energy. Everyone is just either walking in a circle like they're doing, just walking, like, older folks, 50, 60, 70, they go to the park and on the track, just to get their exercise. They'll just walk laps around the track at the park. Excuse me. That's what they do. So they'll just walk, right? And these are young people. 18, 19, 20. Young, agile people. They'll just walk around, right? Or just move their feet in place. Really unsure. Like, I can see the not confusion, but just unsure of what to really do. Even though I just say, just move. So that's 2. Then I'll change the song. Or when they don't know what to do, they'll just start stretching. And I don't want them to stretch just yet. I want the bodies to move. I want you to, the whole point of this is to get the heart rate up. So I want the bodies to move. So then they'll just start stretching. So I say, nope, nobody stretch. I just want you to move around. Then I'll change the song. I say, now, find the groove. I just want you to groove. And that's when the trepidation really starts. That's when the confusion really starts, is when I say find the groove. And that's hard, man. I can see the struggle within them of like what to do. And there's a lot that tries, and figure out. And even those that have taken me before and have heard the speech before, they'll understand and try a little harder to step outside that box. But then, even then, if they're the only ones doing it, they'll stop and then just follow with what the mass is doing. Which brings me to a whole nother thing, a whole nother topic, right? So it's finding the groove is the thing that's hard for them to do. So this happens. We get through the warm up, and I then say, yo, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. And they probably get tired of me talking sometime. But I cannot see things like that and just move on. Like, to me, that's an issue. That's a problem. We gotta try to fix that. So I'm like, yo, so when I'm telling you to groove and we don't groove, tell me why that's difficult. What is the issue with that? What are you feeling? Like, what kind of difficulties do you run into when I'm asking you to just find the groove, right? So here are some of the things that they say to me once I finally get them to talk. Yo, we got to do better on the college level. By we, I'm talking about professors, yo. Like, we really need to be, how can I say, and I ain't gonna go long on this because I know I did a whole little thing on this in one of my other videos, but it's clear how much professors are not talking and engaging with students. Like, it shows, because then they come into a classroom where it's a social class. You know what I mean? Hip hop is a social dance form, and I am one who embraces the social of the social dance form as well as the dance. So with that, like, it is evident, like, professors are not engaging with these students. And we need to figure out, like, some people need to figure out how to change up their teaching style, and figure out how to really engage with students. Because when they get out in the real world, man, like, they're you ask them straight up questions, and they are very reluctant and timid in speaking back and answering back when you ask them very clear questions. So anyway, so I asked them, like, so what is the issues with that? So the answers that they give me back, that they gave back to me, was, didn't know what to do, or the song was slow, or I've never heard this song before, or I ran out of things to do, ran out of movement, ran out of ideas. What was another? Hold on, because I wrote some. I think that was like the gist of it. Yeah, not knowing what to do. The song was too slow, or I ran out of ideas. So I didn't just go through a whole thing of, yo, this is how we fix that. It starts with how you listen to music. So I'm saying all of this to say that in the event that some of you that are listening to this channel, watching this channel, may not, may be dealing with the same thing, you know what I mean, that aren't students of mine currently, and may still be dealing with the same thing. Maybe some of you are teaching right now and notice this, or you haven't noticed this, and because I'm telling you this happens, this is a thing, maybe you'll start to implement just playing music and getting your students to find the groove, to see if this is a thing that's happening in your classes as well. And if you are a teacher, don't just get so caught up on just teaching choreo. You know what I mean? There's so much more to hip hop. Hip hop is so much deeper than that. Hip hop dance. So then I go into this whole thing about, how do we fix that? One, far as music being too slow, it doesn't matter how fast or how slow the song is. There's always a groove. If music is playing, there's a groove. There's a such thing as a fast groove or slow groove, right? And then the whole not knowing what to do. So what solves the problem of tempo is first listening to the song and saying to yourself, if I had to describe this song in one word, what would it be? So this is what I tell them. I say, all right, I'll play the song again. So I play the song, and then I say, now tell me, if you had to describe this in a texture or in one word, what would that one word be? So I play the song, and I got words like smooth. I got words like bouncy. I got words like flowy. Some use river. One student gave me clouds, which I loved. I love imagery like that, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. Now we're getting somewhere. And even in that, when I'm asking them to just give me one word, I don't want to hear from just one or two people giving me their one word. You know what I mean? So now I'm like really forcing them to just speak. You know what I mean? This is a conversation. So I'm asking each and every person to give me what their word was. To create that whole, to lean into the whole social aspect of the social dancing. So I get the word. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is good. This is how and before I did that, I told them, I was like, yo, far as not knowing what to do, you have to listen to the song. The song will tell you how to move. The song should tell you that. So some of them didn't understand what I meant by listen to the song, and the song will talk to you. So then once I played the song and asked that question, and then they gave me their answers, I then explained to them that is how a song talks to you. When you hear a song and the words that pop into your mind is smooth and rough, edgy, bouncy, clouds, soft, those are, as a dancer, that is what it tells you that's how it tells you how to move to it. If it's smooth, then you want to do smooth movement. You know what I mean? If it's bouncy, then you're doing a bouncy movement. You know what I mean? If it's sexy, then you're doing sexy movement. That is how music talks to you. It's so much deeper than putting on a song and then trying to just move. Like, nah, we as dancers have to become one. You have to start training yourself how to become one with music. And if you are to be a dancer, is to be a lover of music. To be a dancer means that you have a love affair with music, and not just one type of music. Like, we gotta really take this thing to the next level when we're talking about dance, man. Like, really get deep into the thought process of what it means to be a dancer and what that really encompasses, far as like how you really think about it. To be a dancer is to have a love affair with music. And a song should talk to you and speak to you. And you should get lost in the music. Here's a problem that I have with dance in the institution. Most institutions, dance programs are focused around modern, postmodern dancing. Even if they offer other styles such as jazz, hip hop, ballet, they're centered, their focus in most colleges, their focus is modern and postmodern. And in that postmodern, a lot of professors in courses and classes teach you to stray away from music, go against the grain of music. And for young dancers, for young dancers who don't grow up doing this, who didn't grow up having that appreciation and love for dance and music. And to be fair, a lot of people choose to make dance a major once they get to college. So then you deal with that. But for people who just grew up doing dance one type of way, which is usually that I've learned in the institution, like dance teams, they grew up on dance teams, cheer teams, and maybe even competition studios where they don't focus on that, and you do that style of hip hop and dance. And then to get to college, to have professors and take classes and courses that tell you block out the music, don't choreograph to music, add the music last. come up with the choreography first. I think I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but when your sole focus is that, when that's the main thing that you're teaching, now you're teaching them that music is bad. And dance and music has always, from the beginning of time, been a couple. There has always been a marriage between music and dance. So I don't understand why, as once we start taking dance or dance starts to become a part of the learning institution, the higher learning institution, we're now trying to break that marriage up. Now, use it as a tool to get young people to learn how to create in a different way. That I'm okay with. But when it's the main focus and you mainly telling them to steer away from the music, that creates a problem. And not all programs do focuses on that, but I've been a part of a lot of programs. I've seen a lot of shows. I've spoke to a lot of different students from different schools and institutions and programs. And yeah, that's usually like just the excuse me, the modern and the postmodern way. That's usually just the modern and the postmodern way. Excuse me, y'all. I get to talking so much that my throat get dry. So yeah. So we got to be careful with that. And young dancers that are out there, and and then that becomes a problem, because then all these schools do like student choreographed concerts, and then the students go to choreograph, but they want to use music, but they're in their head, they can hear someone saying, stop, don't do the music, don't use the music, go against that, create first, add the music last, don't use secular music. Like, at a certain point, when you're creating, and I don't want to get too off topic, but now that I say that, when you're creating, you are the artist. You have to create your art. Learn to create your art. And even no matter how whack or one-sided or one way or one style that you create or you choreograph, you have to be your artist. You have to be in total control. Our job is to help guide your creativity, not dictate your creativity. Because if I'm dictating your creativity, I'm not allowing you to be an artist. My job is to help you manifest and guide your artistry, to help enhance it, but not dictate it and place restrictions. And that's where it goes, to me, it gets a little sour. So, to be a dancer is to have a love affair with music. So then I teach them. So after they give me the words, and I give them demonstrations of the words and imageries that they said, the bounce, a cloud, like even the cloud. When you think about a cloud, have you ever just sat, like in the South, man? I remember days as a youngster where I can't even just say as a youngster, I do it now. I mean, you can catch me at the park anytime, laying on a blanket, just looking up at the sky on a beautiful day and just watching the clouds move. Now, I say in the South because for some reason in the South, the clouds actually move more than they do here. Excuse me, than they do here in LA. So, but even when I had that student to say clouds, I love that, because if you sit back and look up at the sky and just watch how the different shapes, so there's so much to pull from just the word clouds. And you sit and look up at a cloud, think about how when a cloud moves, how it moves, and the time that it takes to get from one place to the next, and what happens to that cloud as it moves through the sky. Some of those clouds even change shape as they meet with another cloud. So then you have one cloud moving in and then connect with another cloud, and then that cloud creates a different shape. And then even think about the texture of a cloud. When you think a cloud, is very soft. Very soft, very what is the word when you there's a word for when you can touch and pierce through something. But even that's the texture of a cloud, and how you can, if you was to think of swiping at a cloud, how then that would change the shape of the cloud. And then even the way that you move to touch a cloud would be different than the way that you would grab a cup off the counter. So all these things, that's what you call deep thought. You take that word and then you go into a deep thought about that. Now this is me telling you this, and ain't nobody taught me this. Like, this isn't something that I learned from someone in a classroom. This is just me being a deep thought or a critical thinking mover. You know what I mean? So I then teach them about those movements. Now, then so that's one way to think about it. Now, once you got that word in your head about that particular song, now it's about what you're hearing in the music. Now you get very specific about the sounds that are happening in the music. You have so many sounds in a song to pull from. There's so many sounds. I mean, there's several instruments. You have the drums, you have the hi-hat, you have the snare, you have the bass drum, you have the guitars, you have the keys, sound machines, cymbals, cowbells, like all those different sounds that you may hear in the song are happening in a rhythmic repetition, are happening in these polyrhythms, right? So with these sounds, all these different sounds happening in these polyrhythms that are 9 times out of 10 repeating to make this big sonic sound, you can then pull the sound. Maybe I like the way that bass drum is going boom, 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 boom. So I like that. I like what's happening in that bass. That's a movement. Then mimic that movement somewhere in your body. That's another sound. You pick that sound and create a movement to that sound in your body, right? So on and so forth. Guitars, keys, understanding what a chord is. So when you hear a nice chord, nice long chord, that tends to change the vibration. It tends to change the vibe of a song. So you have all these different instruments to pull from. And then that's just the instruments. Then you have the artist who is rapping and or singing over these songs, right? In a cadence, using polyrhythms through the voice, right? So now you have the cadence of the artist that is rapping or singing, But then you even have what they're saying. So now if they're saying something like, I don't know, man, I stood up last night, decided to have me a drink, whatever have you. You have the words to like then choose to pick and emulate the words that are saying. There is so much to pull from as a dancer when you're listening to a song, especially in hip hop, because hip hop is always telling a story. Hip hop is always telling a story. So there's never the case of I don't know what to do or I ran out of things to do. Because the story is always changing. The rhythms are always there. The rhythms are always changing. There's so many instruments to pull from. And once you understand that, you never go wrong. And then understanding your space. So I often use this as an example. Also, the Leonardo da Vinci, the Vitruvian Man. I believe that's what it's the name of that Da Vinci painting is, the Vitruvian Man. Where it's the painting of the guy that's standing like this, and he has an arm and another arm and another leg and another leg. Yo, I use that image. I think it's the perfect image because you take that image and put 5 arms on one side and 5 arms on the other side and 5 legs on that side and 5 legs on that side, and until you've taken up all the space between arms and legs in that imagery, and then take that image and then rotate it 360 to create a sphere. Now you have all that space within your sphere and direction to move your body. And because we have limbs that move, you can move anything in that way, right? And that's what dance is. Then take that sphere. So then I asked them that after I explained that whole image to them. I asked them, give me something that's sphere-like. And I'll tell it to y'all. Think of something that's a sphere-like thing. Actual thing. Object. And I know there's a better way to ask this question that will better lead you to where I want you to think, to how I want you to think about this. But even an element of sorts. Think about something that's sphere-like, that rotates, but then also moves around in space. I give you a minute to think about that. What is sphere-like? Sphere that also rotates within itself, but then moves around space. Would you say a tornado does that? How about a hurricane? This is what I mean by really deeply thinking about it. So you have to think of yourself as that Vitruvian Man. Rotate yourself to understand your sphere, but then understand that your sphere also has room to move in space. Can we say bars? Can we say bars? Because I just gave you bars just now. Those were bars. Think about that, young dancers. That's what it is, man. That is what it is. That's how you think about that. So now when you put on a song, these are all the things to think about. So that when you're now grooving to it, there's no way you can run out of moves to do. And this is something that you also have to put into practice. This isn't something that just should happen in the classroom. This is something that you would do on your free time because you are a dancer and you have a love affair with music. So no matter where you are, you're constantly thinking about this. When you in the grocery store and they playing a song, you can't help but to move and think about this. Even when you're not physically doing it, you're thinking it in creating the image in your mind. The brain never stops. When you're at the mall, some type of department store, Walmart, Target, just walking down the street and somebody drive by, somebody at the stoplight, and you can hear their music playing from the car, your brain is already thinking like that. It never stops. And as an artist, it never stops. And that's how that that's how that works. It's a constant thought process. I'm trying to teach young dancers to think like that. Young dancers who are majoring in dance should be thinking like this. And we got a lot of young dancers graduating from college as dance majors who don't think like this, who don't know to think like this. And because it didn't happen for them organically like it did for me, like it was just a natural thing for me to think like this. No one's teaching them to do this, so like I have to expose them to this. But your brain should always and constantly be going. And like my brain is constantly going. Like I've been like this for years, man, which is one of the reasons why like I have to I can't fall asleep to silence. And my wife thinks I'm sure she thinks something's wrong with me because of that, because like I need a lot of times I need the TV. I need a sound for my brain to relax so that I can fall asleep. And just putting something on that I know, like just a rerun of something that I've already seen 100 times, actually helps me to fall asleep better than silence. And I tell you, like, it's because I'm an artist. And because I'm an artist and I'm a creator, my brain is always creating. It doesn't shut down. So in order to shut down the creative hamster wheel that my brain is, I have to distract it with something else so that shuts down, and then I can fall asleep. And it's just me being an artist. It's not, and there's nothing wrong with that. Most artists are like that. There's many people that will tell you that they're the same way, and not even artists, not even just artists, but mainly artists of whatever type of art that you do. But even just like businessmen, people who cultivate business and run major businesses and have to orchestrate and be a part of major deals. You know what I mean? When you're a person that cultivates a thing and do it at a high level, your brain is always going. It doesn't shut down. But there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. But yeah, got to get young people to think this way, think deeply, and become and get involved in a love affair with music. Like, as a dancer, there's no way you telling me as a dancer you've never listened to an album. That's wild to me. Even when just as a young person, not even this as a dancer, just as a young person, to say that you've never listened to an album is crazy. That's why now, guess what? In my class, homework assignments is that we're going to listen to this album. So that is what happened this week in class. And I'm trying to get used to recording my classes, man. I always get so caught up, even now that I have so many like recordings of class, I'm trying to catch those moments when things like that happen. And sometimes I get so caught up I forget to set up my camera. But I'm trying to get better at that, to catch those moments, because I didn't even get a chance to teach what I was going to teach on that day. I came in with a plan to teach something and then saw that happened and saw how much they were struggling with that and couldn't even, it didn't allow me to move forward. Like, that's how much I care about care about fixing the issue. Like, I can't just move past it and be like, oh, well, that was horrible. That sucked. You guys got to, y'all need to figure out how to groove. But I ain't going to be the one to teach. Like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? I couldn't even go forward with whatever plan I had set out to do. Because once I got in there and saw that, the agenda has changed. The objective has changed. This choreo that I was going to teach you, I could teach you that anytime. You know what I mean? So that is what happened. And that is the what happened this week in class segment. Thank you guys for listening. So if any of y'all are dealing with that, man, if you're a young dancer and find yourself dealing with that issue of just grooving, use those tools that I just stated to help you navigate through that, and put that into practice every day. Every day. You know what I mean? Definitely every week, if not every day. You put that into practice, man. You have to do that on your own so that in class you know how to do that and put it in practice in class. And here is how you do that. Even if you have a teacher who doesn't focus on that element of hip hop, that whole grooving thing, most dance teachers, hip hop teachers are probably going to play music before they start teaching. If they're anything like me, I'm already setting the mood when my students come into class. When they walk into my classroom, it's not silent. There's music playing. I'm setting the mood. So when you walk into a dance class and music's playing and the class hasn't started yet, don't just sit there. Like, that's a moment to put all those things into practice and just groove. Like, be on the dance floor. Don't wait on the side and wait for an invitation to come to the dance floor. And I'm not just talking about my class. I'm talking about any dance class that you're in. Go to the floor. And especially on the college level, man, and you're taking a hip hop dance class, I ain't even talking about like any dance class. And this could go for any dance class. But for me, I feel like if you're taking a hip hop dance class, that's the class you can't wait to get to. That's not the class that you dread going to. Don't take a hip hop dance class that you dread going to. That's the class that should not feel like a chore. That's the class that should be like, man, I can't wait to get in here because the rest of my classes or the rest of the first half of my day was a shit day. So I'm just going to get in here, listen to this good music, and just move and groove it out. Don't hold on. Young people, don't hold on to stress in any dance class. But definitely don't hold on to stress in a hip-hop dance class. Let it go. Don't worry about anything while you're in that class, especially if it's just about whatever happened during it. Like, obviously, something very tragic happens. I get it. That can occupy our minds. But something that went on in another class or with a friend or a boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever have you, like, yo, don't use your dance class as therapy, as the stress reliever. I tell my students all the time, man, if you can come in my class with the stress, but leave it here on the floor with me, I'll take care of it for you. Don't leave here with that. As soon as you come in, dance that out, man. Release that tension. Like, a hip-hop class should not feel like a chore. You know what I mean? So that's the time to put that into practice. When music is playing, anytime music is playing, either your body is moving or your brain is working as a dancer. Anytime music is playing, that's the habit you need to be in. And moving and always thinking of different ways to move that body. Finding the groove in whatever it is you're listening to. I'm talking about, I was watching young people two-step. Just doing a simple two-step. Like grandma and grandpa. Matter of fact, I know some grandmas and grandpas that you'll never catch them just two-stepping. And here I got 18, 19, 20-year-old, 21 young people straight up two-stepping to hip-hop music. With the snap and all. With the step, snap, step, snap. Come on, y'all. Come on, young people, man. Can't do that. I can't have it. I'd be damned if you come into my class two-stepping and still leave my class two-stepping. No, it's not going to happen. There's no way I can let that happen. I can't do that to you. I'd be doing you a disservice. So, God damn it, I'm going to teach you how to groove to this music, man. Simple as that. Yo. That's it. I think I did it. There's that. Like I said, man, as always, I appreciate you guys listening to this channel, watching this channel, listening to this podcast, watching this podcast. Thank you for watching another episode of the Everyday Shuffle on the Talented Brandon J YouTube channel. And as I always say, man, hopefully I said something that that bettered your day. Hopefully I said something in this episode that inspired you, that motivated you, that gave shed some type of positive light on you, that gave you some type of enlightenment about yourself, about the culture, about dance. If I was able to do that, yo, one time for me, two times for you. Until the next time, man, I'll see you guys. Be blessed, be safe, have a safe week, have a safe weekend, do something fun or cool. Tell me about it. And remember, listen to those albums, man. Let's create some dialogue. Let's create some engagement on the channel. And yeah, till next time, man. I see you guys. Keep me in your prayers as I do the same for you. Peace and love.